video going viral right now of my boyfriend proposing to me during the LA City Marathon and me saying no because I was in the middle of running a marathon. And the comments on the video were getting kind of insane. Like, a lot of them were just finding it funny the way I kind of like dodged out of his way and was like, no, 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 no. But there are other people being like, a woman doesn't know a good man when he's right in front of her, and like, does she think she's gonna win the marathon? Like, why is she in such a rush? And like, no, that's just not the way we're gonna look at this. I was trying to run a sub 4 hour marathon. I've been training for this for 6 months through injuries, through bad days, through everything. My boyfriend has seen it all. And so for him to come and propose to me at mile 14 to literally be on the course blocking me, no, that's not how we're gonna do that. So I said no. At the time, I kept running. What you don't see after this is all the things that led to us actually breaking up. He calls me on the phone while I'm running a marathon. Who calls someone who's running a marathon? I obviously declined that. I keep running. At mile 18, he's back. He's clearly emotional, and he brought his parents this time. So I'm like, okay, I guess I have to like talk him down. I am like, I'm not saying no permanently. It just wasn't a good circumstance to propose. And then I keep running once I think he's calm enough, and I end up finishing in 4 hours, 1 minute, and 36 seconds. Now, do I think I would have run the sub 4 marathon if I hadn't stopped? I can't say. Obviously, you can't rewrite history, but I was very frustrated. And what sucked even more is that after all this, he still couldn't see it my way. He's like, you're so worried about these numbers. It's just a number. Like, I'm talking about spending our whole life together. And I'm just like, no, if we're not seeing eye to eye on this, we are not seeing eye to eye in our marriage. And I broke things off, and that is where we stand.
In my last video, I briefly mentioned that some of the things that we normalize in relationships when it comes to, dating, not relationship, dating. Some of the things that we normalize are actually red flags, and most people don't know that they are red flags. Now, I do not know if the story is real or not because some people saying it's not, some people saying it is. It don't matter because stuff like this actually happens. Nothing irritates me more than when I see a public proposal because I don't get it. Like, why? Like, why? Why do you need that much attention? I don't get it. And I feel like if my husband had done that to me, I would have been so pissed. He proposed to me in the house when we was at home chilling. I was spending a weekend with him. I hadn't moved in with him yet, so I just came over to spend a weekend, and he proposed to me over dinner. And I said yes. And then we went and tell the news to friends and family. It was nowhere on social media. Nowhere. I did post my wedding pictures on social media, but I removed it because of the work that I do. Because based on experience, a lot of weird, crazy things went down in the Facebook groups. I had to remove those pictures or private them, and I literally unfriended my husband because I didn't want any of those shitty bitches messaging my husband or just being messy. Like, people were being so weird. Back in 2018, between 2018 and 2020, people were so weird on Facebook. And that's one of the reasons why I monetize my work, because I wanted to create a more private community with the ladies, or for the ladies. But anyways, didn't mean to make this about me. These public proposals, no matter how pretty it is, no matter how over the top it is, I don't like it. Honestly, I don't understand the need for the spectacle. You know what I mean? And every time I see a proposal like that, I'm like, that marriage is not going to last very long. Of course, I know there are exceptions. I know there are exceptions. I know that some people got proposed to in Paris by the Eiffel Tower, and their friends took pictures and they posted on social media and it went viral. I know, I'm sure some of those marriages lasted. But when you really think about it, the act itself, making a spectacle of our proposal, if I'm not in on it, I don't want it. I don't want to be caught by surprise because I'm going to tell you no, I'm not ready. Okay. And we've seen how some of these proposals can go wrong, like this video that you all just watched. And it really pisses me off because I'm like, if the girl is saying no, do you even discuss it with her? Like, because it tells me that, marriage wasn't discussed at all. But some of these men, especially these narcissistic men, think that they need to make a marriage proposal a spectacle. And I do not know where that tradition come from. I do not know where it came from. And I see it as a red flag, and I see it as very narcissistic. And I'm going to get into it in a little bit, okay? Because I've seen some crazy proposals. And I feel like Hollywood is to blame for this if I'm being honest, because I've seen people put a ring in a cake, a ring in an ice cream. I'm like, what if I'm eating food and there's a ring in my food and then I bite down on that ring and chip my tooth? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Because I'm first of all, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed and I'm going to say no. And I'm going to break up with you because you made me chip my tooth. Dental work is not cheap. That's all I'm saying, right? But anyways, I don't like these over the top public spectacles of a proposals. I don't like it. I never liked it. I was never a fan of it and I never understood. I mean, in the movies, I never really, it makes sense in the movies because it's a movie. But doing that in real life and orchestrating a big old spectacle, it's just so baffling to me because most of these men can't even plan a proper date, but for some reason they can orchestrate a big old spectacle, getting on one knee and stuff like that. Just do it the classy way. If you're going to get engaged, just do it the classy way. Get engaged in private or among your close friends and family and post a picture of the ring online, okay? Post a nice classy picture with your well manicured hands with the nice ring online. We will appreciate that. Okay? I love those type of posts. And maybe you can post a picture of you, well, your new fiance, and with your hand showing the ring and announce that you got engaged. That's a classy way to do it. These spectacles are a no go. I don't understand, and I know people are going to fight me about this, but I digress. So, anyways, let's get into the story here in this video. Now, this is not the first time I've seen a man propose to a woman in the middle of something important. And when I say something important, hear me out. I can deal with the spectacle, okay? I can deal with the big old balloons and the flowers and getting proposed by the Eiffel Tower. I can deal with that, okay? I can tolerate that. Because sometimes it does look cute. But what I'm not going to stand for is you proposing to me at my graduation or proposing to me in the middle of my marathon race or at the end of the race. Like, it doesn't matter if you did it in the beginning, middle, or end. I still think it's inappropriate and it's given emotional immaturity and narcissist. Because why are you going out of your way to make this entire thing about you? People that propose to, and it's always the men, okay? Because, by the way, I'm not even going to talk about the women that propose to men because I'm going to go on a whole rant, and this video is going to be longer than it should be. So maybe we can leave that for another occasion. It's always the men because the men are the ones that usually propose. These narcissistic men that propose to you while you're running a marathon or while you just completed a huge achievement that you worked so hard for, or on your graduation day, or at your friend's wedding, or something like that. People that propose on other people's wedding day, oh my God, that is, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I know what it is, but why do you need this much attention? Why do you need this much attention? Why do you need to make a spectacle of yourself? These people are sick. So in this story, she said that by mile 14, he basically blocked her path. She had to run around him to continue her race. Then he met up with her at mile 18 and he brought his parents. Like, the whole thing is just so icky and it's just pissing me off because you know what? I wouldn't be cussing anyone out because that's not going to happen to me. That would never happen because in my country, you have this saying, and the saying goes like this: monkey know what tree to climb. What that means is that people know exactly who to try. And these people, they instinctively know that I am not the one. I'm not the one. You're wasting your time and energy. So, find someone else because you're not gonna get my energy. But yeah, I don't think I've ever dated a man, maybe one. Yeah, I dated one narcissist. Well, not actually, no. I dated two narcissists, and that's a whole nother. I don't know if you all want a story time or what. You'll let me know, but yeah, it was brief, and I got rid of them with the quickness. when I realized what was happening and when I remember who the fuck I was. Let me know if you want a story time. But anyways, ladies, a proposal should be about two people making a mutual commitment. It's not about putting another person on the spot in front of an audience. If a man is willing to make you that uncomfortable, then that man is not worth marrying. Okay? Because many times these grand public gestures is basically it's about the proposer, the guy that is proposing, it's about him seeking validation and attention rather than ensuring his partner's comfort. Like he don't care. And if that person really knows you, they are going to propose in a way that aligns with your personality and things that, makes you comfortable and happy and your preferences. Because him proposing to her in the middle of a marathon, it just reveals entitlement and definitely a lack of emotional intelligence and self-awareness. Because you are using this big public moment to override my focus, to override my comfort and override my personal goals. That tells me that you are more concerned about controlling the situation and making the situation about you. Because I don't understand why a private, meaningful proposal was not considered. Because we think it's romantic, these grand public spectacles, they are basically designed to put someone on the spot. But at the end of the day, we think this is romantic. This is not normal. Listen, this is a red flag. And these are one of the red flags that society normalize and make you think it's normal. It is not normal. It is not normal. Okay, it is in fact a red flag. These grand proposals are a red flag. Y'all could come and argue. First of all, you're not going to argue with me because I said what I said. So if you want to argue, y'all can have a discussion in the comments and go back and forth with each other. I will allow y'all this one time to duke it out in the comments. Okay, because his behavior, it displays narcissistic tendencies. I'm not saying he's a narcissist, but that's what is given, okay? In my opinion, if it walks like a duck and sounds like a duck, it's a duck. Because the inability to respect boundaries here is mind-blowing. This is an important moment for this woman. And you had to go out of your way to make it about you. You had to bring your parents in it. Bringing your parents, it just shows emotional immaturity. And the narcissists, they are notoriously immature because his actions, it's just given entitlement and a complete disregard for her autonomy. Because why would you do that? And I saw when I went and I was looking at this story, I saw other videos where men were proposing to their girlfriends right after the marathon. And at least they waited until the marathon was done. But at the end of the day, like, why couldn't she just do the marathon? And why couldn't it be her day? Like, why did you have to propose? Like, I would be so mad. Like, that would piss me off so much. And people do it. Like, some of these men will do it to you on your graduation day. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. These men are so calculating. And, all you women that are in some kind of program, you're in school, or maybe you're studying to be a nurse or whatnot. If all of a sudden you're getting proposed to as soon as you graduate, ask yourself why. Because this was a complete disregard to her personal accomplishments. And if a man cannot celebrate your personal accomplishments with you, then there's something wrong. The last thing he should be doing at a time like this is proposing, because what he should be doing is be on the sideline cheering you on, being your cheerleader. That's what he should be doing. These proposals, they get on my nerves. And don't even get me started on these proposals where women out in public on their knees proposing to a man. Don't get me started because that's a whole different video. That shit boils my blood. And that's probably one of the reasons why I've never really addressed it, because I see it all the time. I see it on Facebook or whatnot, and I don't even reshare it because it pisses me off. Like, it really triggers something in me. Like, it gets me so mad. And every time I see it, it's always a Black woman doing it. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to talk about it because I swear to God, I feel like a vessel in my head is going to pop when I see those stories. People are just weird. A lot of things that we think is normal are actually red flags. I mean, I can do a whole series on red flags if you want me to, but my God, these men are doing too much. I think it was good judgment on her to break up with him because that was the right decision. Because can you imagine what that marriage would have been like? It would have been a nightmare. But every time I see these grand gesture proposals, I'm like, I'm giving them 2 years. Give them 6 months. Give them a year. Most of the times, don't those marriages don't last. That's what I have to say for today. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel, like this video, turn on the bell notification. I would appreciate a sub because my goal is to get this channel to 10,000 followers or subscribers. So help me meet that goal. I would appreciate that very much. Your support, your views, your likes, your shares means a lot to me. And thank you for your support. If you would like to have access to more in-depth content, content that I would not share here on YouTube, hit the link below and sign up to my Patreon. That's what I have to say for today. Thanks for listening. Bye.